My name is Joe Wehrheim, and I pledged in fall of 1987. I started at Purdue in fall of '86 and transferred in from a junior college and graduated in December of '89. And I was in the School of Technology in the Organizational Leadership and Development program. I grew up in Vincennes, Indiana, and attended Vincennes University before transferring to Purdue. And we currently reside in New Palestine, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. We met on Monday nights, and they were somewhat uneventful, but I did learn parliamentary procedure during my time as president of the club. So our initiation night, by the time I joined the club, the university had kind of clamped down on a lot of the activities. So it was kind of a blindfolded night in a cornfield, basically, and I think I remember it being very cold that night. Well, it was kind of like a blindfolded scavenger hunt, and we had to gather our entire pledge class, find them, and that was took us a couple hours to get our group all together. We were a class of 12, I believe. Proud moment would probably, for me personally, was get the opportunity, having been on the Boilermaker Special crew and piloting that, to get a chance to drive the extra special out onto the football field. So my senior year, I got the opportunity to do that, and that was one of my proudest moments. So my experience with the Boilermaker Special, we had Boilermaker Special 3, which by 1987 was 27 years old. So you'll hear a lot of stories from my fellow classmates on the challenges of keeping that running. But I think probably one of my best moments was with the Boilermaker Special, when I got to take it to my hometown and drove in the local parade and got to show all the folks that I grew up with in IU country that I'm a Boilermaker true and true. My favorite tradition of the club, now that I look back, was probably the Lions Fountain and our singing. Didn't enjoy it as the pledge initially, but really got involved into it when I was here with the Actives, also participated in that. So being an active and working with the pledges was always a great memory for me. Yeah, so I'm close friends and attend a lot of football games with a handful of Reamers, and we end up tailgating out in the P lot, and don't always sit together, but we still come back to Purdue on a pretty regular basis and have now gone back to season tickets this year. So, well, probably the single biggest thing was I met my wife in the Reamer Club. She was best friends with my pledge parent, and started dating and convinced her to join the club, and that kind of changed our lives and sent me in a in a different direction. And we're still married 32 years later. Yeah, I think, the club obviously, I served as chair of the special, also did a lot of work with the non-revenue sports group. I don't know if you still have that committee now, but and then being president of the club, really helped strengthen my leadership skills and improve my communication skills, to a large group, and kind of get me out of that shell. So I think the Reamer Club in any organization like that provides that type of opportunity for you. It's a memory and kind of a story, but it, again, revolves around Boilermaker Special 3, but I stuck around campus during the summer months and took it to a lot of different parades and activities. And I remember one opportunity to take it to Adams County. A Reamer alum had asked us to come be in the parade, and we drove on a hot July afternoon in a large black locomotive to the Fort Wayne, Allen County area, and got there. The special was overheating, as it often did, and the parade had us listed about 56th in line. And I pulled up and I said, we aren't going to make it if we are that far back. So he promptly moved us to the front of the parade, got us through the parade, and we drove back to West Lafayette without ever stopping. Yeah, and one other thing we did with during the late 80s was, as the Boilermaker Special 3 was aging, was, can we get a truck and trailer to move this vehicle out to Iowa? We didn't have Nebraska at the time, but to Penn State, to get down the road and get it there and extend the life of the vehicle. And we could get a truck dealer to provide us a truck, but only if we had a trailer. And we could get a trailer company to build us a trailer only if we had a truck. So we finally convinced a Reamer alum to provide us a dually pickup truck with the gooseneck fifth wheel on it so that we could haul the trailer, and then went back to the trailer manufacturer. And by that point, the next generation of Reamers had negotiated to get the new BMS built and to replace them. We did the typical things right and the typical things wrong that I'm sure you guys are doing here, and but you're keeping it alive, and it's just exciting to see when we come back. We tailgate with several Reamers, and just to bring that spirit of Purdue back and reinvigorate that for all of us is great. In our time at Purdue in the late 80s, our sports were struggling a bit, and to be the spirit of Purdue and to try to keep that spirit up was always a challenge. Meeting the teams as they got back from road games with the Boilermaker Special at the airport, and those are always fun events, but it was usually after a loss, and it breaks your heart. So one of my favorite memories was getting to take the Boilermaker Special down to Vincennes, Indiana, my hometown, and it's a town that has a lot of trains that go through it. About every 5 to 10 minutes there's a train going through the city, and when you're driving the Boilermaker Special, as anyone who's driven it can say, trying to make a left turn in a busy street is next to impossible, because everyone wants to slow down and look at you sitting there in the Boilermaker Special. So after about 5 minutes of sitting there trying to make this maneuver, and we all had to coordinate with the co-pilot, okay, can I make a left turn? Am I clear to the left? Am I clear to the right? Finally, I just blew the train horn. It took me 5 minutes to figure out, just blow the horn. Everyone here knows to stop and allow the train to pass. So that was one of my memories of taking the Boilermaker Special home, and one of the challenges I had. And then the other challenges was finding a place to park it overnight that was safe, and ended up finding a Reamer alum down there that had a farm, and he's like, you can bring it out here and it'll be safe in my barn. So I took it upon myself and my future wife, decided that it would be a great time to redo the Traditions book and start a next volume of that particular book. And it was a fundraiser for the Boilermaker Special. A lot of our time in the club in the late 80s was trying to fund keeping that thing on the road. Either we never looked at really replacing it, but how do we get it to events without putting any more miles on it? So we said we've got to find a way to raise funds, and first thing we thought of was our Traditions book. We had a great foundation with the book that was already there, and then I worked with my wife, and we put this together and put it out in December of '89, I believe. We launched that about the time I was graduating from Purdue, but that's kind of my proudest moment. I think it was a nice encapsulation of all the traditions that we hold dear as the Reamer Club, and I don't remember what our fundraising goal was and what we ended up, but I believe we sold out of the book. So that was fun, and to go in and research all the pictures and the articles. We had the information in the club, but to go find the photographs, old photographs from when Purdue first started in 1869 to present day, and that was probably my highlight of my contribution to the Reamer Club. And so when we worked on the Traditions book, my wife handled most of the text, if you will, the content, and I handled all of the photographs and graphic arts that were in there. And it was a fun journey to go learn even more about Purdue. Obviously, we were the experts on campus, but to go through the glass negatives in the archives for Purdue and to find these old photographs. There's a couple of my favorite ones in there, the black and white ones from the early days, well before our time, and that was quite a fun journey to learn so much more about the campus. I probably shouldn't admit that I have a cameo in the book. I'm in the Lion's Circle. I think I'm an active member at that point, but age 36. No.